Greetings. I'm back, everyone. This is Dr. Asim Ayali Kimbui here. And I want to ask you all a question. And I'm very interested in your response. Thus, please comment below. I want to possibly use the data that I gathered to include in another book of mine. However, the question that I wanted to raise, or the question that I raised, and that I want to ask you is there a difference between an institution created by Black people, so called, but has, for an example, a white name attached to it, and an institution not created by Black people, so called, yet Black people are a part of it, and a white name is attached to that institution? The purpose of me asking that question is because I have been hearing that one of the main concerns as to why problems persist within our communities is that we are not organized as a people. However, if you go on the internet and Google Black organizations, you will quickly see there are many Black organizations. For example, there is the Association of Black Psychologists, there is the Association of Black Social Workers, there is the National Society of Black Engineers. Thus, what is meant when someone says that we are not organized? Because I do not find that. This exposes a real concern, and the persons or people that are saying this are not clear in what they mean when they say that we are not organized. In comparison, this is very similar to those who say that we hate ourselves or use the term self-hate to, in a way, expose a condition referring to a lack of awareness we have among ourselves of our own African race. However, in reality, we do not hate ourselves. Thus, if you hear someone say that we hate ourselves, now you know that what is said is not true. So in effect, when it is claimed that we are not organized, that needs to be clarified. Now, the way that I see it, the perceived concern therefore would mean that a concern lies within the organization itself. So you can think of it in this way. There's an old expression, and it is something that says to put the cart before the horse. Uh, and basically, the thought speaks to the idea of that there's an order to things. So, in the case of those who may perceive that we need to create our own organizations. And don't get me wrong, we do need to do that, and we have been doing that. And we will continue to do that. However, there is an order into doing this, which in that order consists of investing in the way we think, leading to building and growing our our institutions, the very institutions that we have created. And that sort of gets into some of the other videos that I have on YouTube. And one of the major points that I speak to in utilizing the conceptual analysis of Afrocentric Pan-Africanism, because Afrocentric Pan-Africanism, to be short, is a strategy or plan to Pan-Africanism. And so within our efforts to organize within our communities and elsewhere, where we would reside, it is not solely about Pan-Africanism. I claim it is about Afrocentric Pan-Africanism. Notice again what precedes that term. Pan-Africanism is Afrocentric. So the Afrocentric Pan-Africanism, or the Afrocentric, modifies the word Pan-Africanism to denote a change in our thinking for which we organize, and leads to how we as a people share a common goal. So it's not just the recognition of race. Of course, that's a part of it. Again, and awareness is there, but given that awareness, then realizing a goal. So that goal, there has to be some thought into that, right? And we can go deeper into that, because you're talking about goal setting, uh, measuring. You're talking about many different aspects when you talk about creating a goal. It's a process, but that speaks to a common goal by which we do participate as a collective. Um, so truly, indeed, you know, when the as many of you have heard with the African proverb, when spider webs unite, they can tie up a line. So, once we are aware that we are African people, then we recognize that we share a common goal. We have to create those there's a process of creating those goals. Then, as different spider webs, we can then unite and then really tie up tie up a line, or solve our problems on a global scale. However, basically everything that I have said up to this point, I have said to say that indeed it is not true that we are not organized. We are organized. However, we should be growing and evolving in our organization to increase our African humanity, to be able to solve our problems. All right. So again, I've raised my questions. I provided some insight into my questions, or excuse me, I raised my question and provided insight into the purpose of me asking my question. And again, that question is, well, before I get back to that question, I just touched a little bit on Afrocentric Pan-Africanism. However, I have other videos on my channel that go into further discussion. of Afrocentric Pan-Africanism. Um, so that wasn't the point per se here. My purpose here again was to raise the question: is there a difference between an institution created by Black people, so-called, but has, for an example, a white name attached to it, as compared to an institution not created by Black people, yet Black people are a part of that institution, and that institution as well has a white name attached to it. So again, comment below or share your thoughts, and I look forward to reading your responses. Thank you.